In response to the corporate insanity surrounding Epipen, company Mylan purchased the rights to Epipen in 2007 and raised the prices from $57 to $318. Medical hacking collective, Four Thieves Vinegar, has established a version of the life-saving injector for $30. The Epipen works by spring-load injecting epinephrine into someone that is suffering from anaphylactic shock. Anaphylaxis can occur as an allergic reaction to a wide array of things, including peanuts or bee stings, and the Epipen, for many, is a last line of defense. Unfortunately, the $318 price tag puts it out of reach for many people. In response, Four Thieves Vinegar have created and uploaded the plans for the simple version, called the Epipensol. Also spring-loaded, the parts are gathered over the counter. The epinephrine will still need to be acquired with a prescription. Four Thieves Vinegar continues their mission to make medicine free for everyone. Crowdsourcing and the internet kind of proves that corporate, top-down power structures are busted. The human race works better as a team. In this video, Michael Laufer shows us how to assemble the auto-injector.
Good evening, Dr. Michael Laufer here, Chief Spokesman for the Four Thieves Vinegar Collective, the creators of the Apothecary Microlab, which is going to be out for beta testing very soon. In the meantime, we've gotten many requests to do something about the Epipen. So we have. We developed the Epipensol, which is an epinephrine auto-injector built entirely from off-the-shelf parts, which can be assembled in a matter of minutes for just over $30. And here it is. You can print out this sticker, which has our logo and instructions on it. You can download it here. And I'm going to show you each of the pieces and how they go together. The first item, of course, is the auto-injector itself. This is the AutoJect 2, the removable needle model. This is designed for needle-phobic diabetics, and you can purchase that here. Then, of course, you need a syringe and a needle. The needle has to be fairly large, 22 gauge. It's an intramuscular injection to deliver fairly quickly. These are available. They come along with a 3 milliliter syringe, and you can get these in most drugstores, or you can order the needles by themselves here. Now, the problem is that this is what is called a lure lock connector. That's this screw portion, and it's too wide to fit in here because these are designed only to take the very small syringes that diabetics use. The saving grace, however, is that if you disconnect the lure lock mechanism, you notice how it's tapered. It will also connect to a lure slip connector. This is a lure slip connector. This is a lure slip 1 milliliter syringe, also available in most drugstores, or you can order them here. And it pressure fits. And just like that, you've managed to connect a 22 gauge needle with a lure lock connector onto a 1 milliliter lure slip syringe. I'll show you how to load it in a moment. Of course, the last thing you need is some epinephrine, which you can get a prescription for if you have an allergy and are in danger of going into anaphylactic shock. I'm just going to use sterile saline. So I'm going to load the syringe with 0.3 milliliters of that. Draw it down just like so. Looks like I've got a little air bubble there, so pull in some extra and then tap it out. There we go. And just bring this up to the 3 mark. You can see, there it is. That's 0.3 milliliters of fluid. Now, if you do, and again, both the needle and the syringe will come in a special sterile packaging. Make sure that they are so that it's safe. You take this and you depress the plunger so that the spring is loaded. Now this portion is ready. Then on this, there's a second piece here. This is a screw connector, and this is a depth adjuster. You can decide how far the needle goes in. You should decide somewhere between 7 and 15 millimeters based on your subcutaneous layer in your leg and how baggy clothing you typically wear. Then, making sure not to touch this to anything so it remains sterile, you drop the syringe in, just like so. Be sure not to bump it on anything, also because that will dull the tip and it will hurt a whole lot more when it goes in. Then you screw this down, and just like that, you have a fully loaded auto-injector. Now, of course, if you don't have a prescription for epinephrine, you have to get it some other way, but that's a topic for another video. In a previous take of this, I actually did inject myself, but my leg is fairly sore, so I'm going to skip that. Press it in, press the button. Oh! And yeah, it hurts. But to show that it works, I will actually shoot it. Some of you might be concerned, oh, carrying this around, it might just go off if the button gets pressed. No, there is a safety. So this button will not actuate unless this is actually pressed against something. You can see this safety catch collapse. So, to show that it works, here we go. This would be pressed against the outer thigh, and then the button would be pressed. And there, you can see the needle engages and the liquid came out. And just like that, you have a epinephrine auto-injector. It functions just as well as an EpiPen, and with no special training, anybody can use it. Brought to you by the Four Thieves Vinegar Collective. You can visit us at fourthievesvinegar.org here. Get in touch if you'd like to join us, or if you have questions, or if you'd have ideas you'd like to share with us. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy.
Our first guest, one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses, currently appearing in 2 movies right now, opposite Kurt Russell in the action thriller Executive Decision. Starting tomorrow, can be seen starring in Race the Sun with Jim Belushi, is the beautiful Halle Berry. That little waist. Hi, Halle. So good to see you.
Thank you.
Hey, Morgan Fairchild.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Halle,
are so tiny.
You are like a sleek greyhound here with this little waist. What is it, 12 inches, 13 maybe?
No, a little bigger than that, Reed.
It's good to see you again,
You too.
kiddo.
Thank you.
Glad everything's going so well for you, especially professionally. You've got the Revlon spokes
That's right.
person thing. I'm going to see your face now with all those lipsticks and everything.
Frosted brownies. Frosted brownies.
Already.
Frosted brown tinged lipstick, is that what that is?
With a frost on top. The new
Love
spring
It's
color.
the new thing.
Yeah.
Frosting.
But you know, I saw her face in an Eddie Murphy movie a few years ago. What was it, Harlem Nights or what was it? Arabian Nights? What was it?
Boomerang.
Boomerang.
Close.
So-
I know you're trying.
So I'm thinking of old Eddie Murphy movies, but so I said to Eddie Murphy, you know, that leading lady you had in that movie, that's a face, that's one in a million. He said, yeah, oh yeah, very pretty. What's her name? Halle Berry, and that's how I first came upon your name.
Oh,
And
really?
sure enough, the face has become one in a million, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to hear about you and David Justice. It's all over the papers and all of that, and that's a painful situation, but let me tell you something, everything gets better.
Really?
Yes.
When? I want to know when.
In
Give me a
time.
time and a date.
Now, as soon as word goes out, you start hearing from others.
Well, I did last night. I got 2 bottles of champagne and a big bouquet of flowers from a really nice gentleman.
Anybody you can say?
Here in town?
He's famous.
Here in New York, of course.
He's here in New York, staying in
Were-
my hotel. It was a very sweet thing.
Were you
to
at
do.
dinner?
No, I met him in the hallway. I was going up to my room, and he was going to his room, and we sort of looked. And then about 20 minutes later, I had this flowers and champagne, and
This guy works fast.
so
fast worker.
things are looking up. I kind of got
So the guy sent you 2 bottles of champagne.
Cristal.
2 bottles of Cristal. One for him, one for you in his dreams.
Well,
So then, how do you, because, you know, how do you follow up something like that? Was there a knock on the door? Was there a call? What was
no,
it?
he did the classy thing. He did nothing, and I wrote a thank you note to him and had it sent to his room and said that was very sweet. Thank you very much.
Ah, and now he's probably, you know, in hibernation for a while.
Well, now it's his move. I did my part. Now I threw the ball to
She's
him.
a lady, come on.
Yes.
She was gracious,
So
and now it's up to him.
what should a guy do in this case?
Make another move.
Whoa, Morgan Fairchild knows. Make your move.
Another move.
And what
another
is the
move,
next
not the
move? What's the next move for this guy?
Well, something equally romantic
Well, I
and
mean,
fun.
he's done the
you know.
champagne, he's
Call
done the
and ask
flowers.
her out.
Now the next move is dinner.
It's whatever he decides to do. His move.
All right, good, Hallie. Well, keep me in mind, will you? I'd like to know what's going on. So, boy, oh boy, 2 movies out right now, Kurt Russell and Jim Belushi. Let's talk about the Russell movie first, Executive Decision. Some people have seen that already and say it's pretty darn good.
You know, I think so. I'm not normally an action movie goer,
Yeah.
but this one is smart. It's intelligent. It's not all about blood and guts and killing. It's really intelligent. It's state of the art, and there's a little humor along the way. You got John Leguizamo, who provides a lot of laughs, and Steven Seagal and Kurt Russell.
Does it take place in an airplane? I've seen some trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It all takes place on the 747
You
going.
look like you get knocked around a lot, too, in it.
Yeah, I take a few hits, but I come back.
Atta girl.
I stand up.
Good
and
for you.
Keep on going.
You play a flight attendant?
Yeah, Jean, the flight attendant.
Uh-huh.
She's the only one on this plane who's not so scared straight that she can't move.
Yeah, good for
So,
you.
Yeah.
Well,
That's also nice because, you know, the flight attendants on these planes so many times are the people who actually save lives.
They do.
And in
Yeah.
movies, frequently, they're not given credit for that. So it's great to see a woman who's a flight attendant not being the one scared
Right.
to death.
Well, you want to know what? Now when I fly, I get anything I want. I'm like in with the flight attendant.
it's good to be in with them. They take good care of
If the plane
you.
goes down, you come. Yeah. Here's where I'll be sitting.
I was on a flight, I think I mentioned this the other day, last week on Friday. The plane was turned around in air and brought back to LaGuardia. You know, and that's kind of scary because you're on your way to Florida and the flight attendant gets on the horn and says, we are returning to LaGuardia and the pilot will explain why when we get there.
If you can.
Yeah, that's right, if he gets there. Very calm, matter of fact, and no problem at all. They instill confidence in their passengers. Well, I'm glad
They do?
glad you upheld the ranks there. We'll pause. We'll come right back with more. from Halle Berry.
Tomorrow on Live, pop group Delamitri and actress Jacqueline Smith.
Wrong situation, the right time.
Dr. David Wright there. Can we go back there just for a minute and find out? Listen, what do you've got there? A glass of milk and it's not hammered. Oh, yes, it's loose.
Glass of
Okay.
milk?
So what keeps it on the board as you spin it around?
You think it'd fall off, like falling out of a roller coaster when you're upside down, but you don't because it's centripetal force. Here we go again. Boom. Pushes it in the circle.
All right.
Whoa.
Good. Thank you very much. The
guy's
doctor,
very brave.
Dr. Wright getting hot right now. And incidentally, don't you play a science teacher in the Race with the Sun movie?
I do, yeah. I play a teacher who inspires a group of sort of bad seed kids, and they're called the Lolos, in Hawaii, to go to Australia and build this solar energy car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jim Belushi's like the old guard, you know, nothing works with these kids, nothing inspires them, but here comes some
Consummate
imagination.
cheerleader, yeah.
Yeah. What about teachers when you were a kid? Do you remember, did any of your teachers inspire you?
I do. The reason I could relate to this story is I know the importance of the teacher-student relationship. My 5th grade teacher sort of took me under her wing and sort of became the angel on my shoulder, Yvonne Sims, and she's still one of my very, very best friends
Yeah.
today. So I know what that's all about and how
Teachers are
important that
very
is.
hot right now, what with the Mr. Holland's Opus, you know, that movie about the music teacher. And Richard Dreyfuss, so funny, he got all inspired in this role as a teacher, so he called one of his old teachers who meant a lot to him, you know, and he thought it would be nice for her to hear from Richard Dreyfuss, famous guy, won the Academy Award. So he called her up and he said, Mrs. So-and-so, I'm Richard Dreyfuss, one of your old students, and I just want to tell you how much you meant to me. And she said, thank you very much, and she hung up. you know, while you remember them, sometimes they don't always remember you.
Don't want
Well,
to.
shall we take a look at a clip now from Race the Sun? Here the kids are visiting Hallie at home. Talk to her about what they're going to do.
How'd you guys find me?
Town's not that big. You dressed, eh?
We ain't gonna beat you up.
Aren't going to beat me up.
Hey! Oh, that's nice stuff.
So, what's up?
You live out of boxes, Miss Teach?
Well, I wasn't exactly sure I was gonna stay. Now, what do you want?
So this is Mr. Teach, eh? You must have done something bad, huh?
Is somebody gonna tell me exactly why you're here?
Our science project.
Well, this is really impressive, Daniel. But you're a little too late. The race is only a couple months away.
And that's how it begins, though, right? Yeah.
It must be so hard to be so unphotogenic.
It is. See me in the morning.
And besides all of this, you have a new Spike Lee movie coming out as well, huh?
You know, I do, but I'm only in this movie for 30 seconds. I don't even know what it's about. When Spike called me and asked me to do it, because it's Spike, and Spike gave me a role in my first movie, I said, Spike, yeah, whatever. And now it comes out, oh, Hallie, you're in this phone sex movie. I said, I am? Really? I had no idea. But I've heard it's a very good movie.
30 seconds, though. I mean, isn't that kind of like a waste of a, I don't know, what kind of a role do you play?
I play myself. I have a cameo appearance as myself.
Oh, I see.
Being interviewed by
But you
Rolando
have a bigger part in Race the Sun.
Yeah, Race the
When
Sun.
does that open?
The same weekend Girl 6 opens.
That's
This
tomorrow.
weekend? Oh,
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
That's
yeah.
right.
Hallie, thank you very much for coming down. Good luck to you, okay? Let me know about the 2 bottles of Cristal, will you? We'll be right back in a moment with Dr. David Wright.